Hello and welcome, fellow film buffs. I'm Zach Droll, and I'm joined by my co-host and fellow cinephile, Hunter Vanalerup.
What's going on? Hey, I'm here.
We are the box office losers, and today is episode number 20 in our series. Each and every week, we deep dive into the movie sphere to watch and review any and all films to ever grace the silver screen. This week, really today, we are watching and talking about Elf.
Yeah, dude, this is the first time I've ever seen Elf, and let me tell you, it's a doozy. I didn't know how, almost PG-13 this movie is.
Oh, remember, this film came out in 2003.
Yeah, they were able to push the limits of PG.
Yeah.
There's a shower scene. I was like, this is PG? She's definitely naked. Anyway, but also, we'll get to that.
Yeah, so at this time when I was little and I saw this movie, Zooey Deschanel was my first celebrity crush.
Oh, she's got nice eyes.
Jesus Christ.
I think it's the eyes that which really draws most people in. You're like, yeah. I could swim in those baby blues.
Yeah.
So, I'll do the overview, man. And then we'll jump into the cast and etc. So, Elf is a 2003 American Christmas comedy film directed by Jon Favreau, which I did not know going into this. Starring Will Ferrell, James Caan, Zooey Deschanel, Mary Steenburgen, Daniel Tay, Bob Newhart, and Ed Asner. The film centers on Buddy, a human who is adopted and raised by Santa's elves. He learns about this, and he heads to New York City to meet his biological father, while also spreading Christmas cheer in a world of cynics in the process. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Surprisingly good. I didn't hate this movie. I thought I was going to hate it. Just because it was so overhyped.
Since I was watching this last night, I was streaming it for my friends, and my one friend, he just fucking hates this movie.
Why does he hate this movie?
He thinks it's a terrible movie.
Well, he's a terrible person.
You're just kidding.
Sure I am.
But no, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I don't see anything wrong with it. It's heartwarming. It's timeless. So yeah. Timeless,
sure. We'll say that now. But there was some really inconsiderate Peter Dinklage jokes, which we'll get to later.
Listen.
So maybe it's not timeless, but it's pretty close.
All right.
Anyway, so the cast.
Also, I got some questions about your fucking notes when we get to it.
Hey man, my mid-movie notes are top tier.
I got some fucking questions, man.
So, the cast. Will Ferrell plays Buddy Hobbs, a.k.a. Buddy the Elf. James Caan plays Walter. Zooey Deschanel plays Jovi. Mary Steenburgen, who I thought was Sarah Clark for some reason, is Emily Hobbs. Daniel Tay is Michael. Bob Newhart is Papa. And Ed Asner is Santa, with Peter Dinklage, I think it's Adam Daly, the dude who's Conan's right-hand man. And then Amy Sedaris is in this as well.
So, what's odd is, what I like is, Mary Steenburgen, she's in almost a lot of Will Ferrell movies.
I think they're friends. That's why.
I know. I like how she played his mom and Step Brothers.
I think she was in Old School as one of the wives. Don't quote me on that.
That's really cool that,
I haven't seen Old School in a while.
At least he goes hey, hire these people. And fucking James Caan. Goddamn Sonny Corleone.
It's crazy to see, what people do, in the realm of cinema. I mean, just look at a lot of these actors. Not in this movie specifically, but, look at... I mean, we're going to be talking about Die Hard in a sec, but, look at Bruce Willis. He went from doing sitcoms and happy-go-lucky movies to being an action star and someone to take serious up until recently. So, it's crazy to think actors have so much range in what they can do. You see James Caan as in The Godfather, and then he shows up as Walter Hobbs, this fucking naughty... Oh, no, I say naughty as in he's on the naughty list. We're talking about Christmas here, folks. He's on the naughty list. He's this asshole publisher. And it's just, I don't know, it just works. There's a scene where Will Ferrell pulls them onto the bed and goes, "Tickle fight!" Like, imagine him doing that to Sonny Corleone.
So kind of like when we get to the notes, since there is a Netflix documentary of the holiday movies that made us. It only covers 2 movies. I wish it covered more. It covered Elf, and it covered The Nightmare Before Christmas. I have a lot of notes from that because it helps clear up a lot of the wrong that our sources give us, i.e. just like Wikipedia, IMDb.
I wouldn't say
like
wrong. I would say clarifies.
Yeah, when we get down to it, I'll just read off the budget and then we'll hop into the notes. To be honest,
for sure.
The budget of this film was $33 million, and it made an astounding $223.3 million at the box office.
Yeah, that's crazy. It made like quadrupled its budget.
So, like, that's just insane. So with the notes, I'm gonna clear up a lot of things. Okay, so David Bentram?
Birnbaum. You're so bad at this.
Birnbaum, I know I am. Initially wrote the script in 1993.
Damn, 10
with
years
Chris
before
Farley
this
and
movie
Jim
got made.
Carrey in mind for the role, which actually was not fully true. He didn't know he didn't know who he wanted yet, but
they weren't in mind. They were early candidates.
They were early candidates, but that was mainly by the studios.
Mm-hmm.
The studios wanted him, not David.
Mm-hmm.
Then he saw Will, because I think he via SNL stuff as well, and they were like, Will Ferrell is not a leading man. There's no fucking way.
I think this is the movie that made him a leading man.
No, it was it was Old School that made him a leading guy.
I don't think he was the lead in that movie. I think he was just one of the leads.
But this
is
but
a
Old School
purely
did
Will
help
Ferrell
him.
movie. Like, this is like Will Ferrell at his purest. I know what you mean, but like, this is like his first like solo lead, I should say.
Then Birnbaum's screenplay underwent incredible rewrites by Scott Armstrong, Chris Henchley, and the writing team of Adam McKay and Will Ferrell.
Those guys were
According to Favreau, the script was initially much darker. I cannot confirm nor deny this. I do know that the ending was a lot different than they had. And it did not interest him, although he was interested in working with Will Ferrell for his post-SNL movie. Asked to rewrite it, and a turning point came when he realized he could make Buddy's world an homage to the Rankin Bass Christmas special,
which he totally did by using Leon in it as well. Leon is like a straight up rip from the Frosty the Snowman stuff.
They almost got in a lot of trouble with the Rankin Bass stuff.
I saw the credits, and it says they got Leon from them specifically, so they might have like gotten away with that one.
Yeah, they almost got in trouble with that. The principal photography began on December 2nd, 2002, and wrapped on March 7th, 2003.
That's pretty good.
Took place in New York as well as in Vancouver, and at a Riverview hospital. Actually, it was a Riverview. It was a mental hospital, actually, an abandoned one. That's where they got the shots for the mailroom and the prison.
Interesting.
Yep. In British Columbia, the film makes heavy use of forced perspective to exaggerate the size of Buddy.
I commented about that in my notes.
Excuse me.
Dead.
I'm actually over the cough for once.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I could tell I would have been dying halfway through the first fucking one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the film that makes heavy use of the forced perspective compared to all the other elves. Stop motion animation was employed for certain sequences.
You can tell.
CGI usage was
kept to a minimum.
Oh, I am guys. Hey, I'm also like, I'm no longer in class anymore. I'm done. So brain cells are dying. Kept it to a minimum due to Favreau's own preference, something that he would later note had to fight very hard for.
Interesting.
Zooey Deschanel, singing was not in the original script, and Favreau added it when he learned she was a singer. When Buddy started singing in the middle of Santaland at Gimbals, The lyrics were not scripted, and Will Ferrell improvised the song on the spot.
It's a very Will Ferrell move.
I'm going to read up to just the next paragraph, and then I'm going to have you take over.
I was going to say, you're reading a lot, Chief. Am I in this
because
episode?
Because a lot of the stuff that's in the first few paragraphs are things that I know were things that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from the snow, most of the computer-generated imagery, CGI, is in this film was created by Rhythm and Hue Studios. Buddy's belch after drinking the 2-liter bottle of Coke was real, as dubbed by voice actor
Maurice LaMarche.
Maurice, I know it was Maurice. I have a stuttering problem, guys.
We're painfully aware now.
Yes, if you listen to any of these.
Yo, when he chugs that fucking Coke, it is crazy. I'm sitting there like, what is... I mean, you could hear the hose, like, sucking it out in the corner of his mouth. But I was like, in character, I was like, damn, this is crazy.
On the final day of shooting in New York, it was... New York City, it was just director Jon Favreau, Will Ferrell, and a cameraman driving around the city looking for locations to shoot. They would jump out and ask pedestrians if they would be willing to be extras for some extra cash. I'm not sure that's fully true, because they said that we just fucking did some candid camera shit. Like with the guy who was dressed as, who Buddy thought was Santa.
It was just a random
who was just the
homeless
old
guy?
man doing walking.
Yeah.
That was not like, I don't think they told the guy what they were doing.
Are you Santa? No, you're not. And he keeps running. I was like, oh my god. That's crazy.
I mean, a lot of stuff, I think I would believe that they paid them, but I don't think... I don't think it was fully true that they were aware what was going on. While Will Ferrell paraded across acting like Buddy, much of the montage where Buddy first arrives in New York City was filmed then, such as when he is getting his shoes shined and jumping between traffic.
Hell yeah,
also, they were scared shitless going through the Lincoln Tunnel because they actually thought they were gonna die.
That's fucking funny.
Because because the platform they were walking on, that's all they had.
Yeah, I bet. And
they had nothing
they
else.
had to get like a dolly in there.
or just a guy holding the camera.
Yeah.
All right, now you can take over. Now that I'm done reading the stuff that I know of.
There we go. So the scene where Buddy and the fake Santa fight was filmed in front of a green screen, and all the kids were put onto the green screen in editing. They were filmed separately from the fight scene. This was due to the fact that they had to be filmed in one take, and it was too dangerous having all these kids around. This is evident when Buddy is framed against the kids when he first sees the fake Santa. Near the end of the film, when Santa, Ed Asner, is showing Michael his nice list, all the people on Santa's list worked on the movie. Victoria Down was on the list, Drew Davidson, Andreas Neiman, Nathan Tyshaw, and Michael Hobbs, who was actually in the book as something else. It was just cool to see like all these people were just like in the list, and they had all these like things they wanted. I thought that was really funny, so I added that to the list. Nothing really to write home about. It's just like, oh, that's nice, you know. Oh my god, why is my microphone so fucking like testy today? Anyway, have fun editing, Zach.
I hate you.
I
fucking hate you.
So, a Broadway musical based upon the film ran on Broadway during 2010's Christmas season. It was directed by Casey Nicola, with music by Matthew Schuyler, lyrics by Chad Bagelin, and a book by Bob Martin and Thomas Mahan. The musical officially opened at the Al Hirschfield Theater on November 10th, 2010, after previews from November 2nd. The cast included Sebastian Arcelius, Amy Spanger, Beth Lavelle, Mark Jacoby, Matthew Gumley, Valerie Wright, Michael McCormick, Michael Mandel, and George Wendt. It ran all the way to January 2011, which is only like a 2-month span. Then, Buddy's musical Christmas, an hour-long stop-motion animated music television special based on the film and musical, came out. While Edward Asner was the only cast member from the film to reprise his role, The rest of the cast was included James Parson, Mark Hamill, which is awesome, Katie McCucci, Rachel McFarlane, Max Charles, and Gilbert Gottfried.
Hell yeah.
I want the book, Walter! Give me the book! It was produced by Warner Brothers Animation and first aired on NBC in December 16, 2014, and it features songs from the musical. That's cool. I might check that out.
A video game? Wait, real? Oh, only for the Game Boy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was like an action platformer. It was like a side-scrolling platformer.
I was about to say, huh?
A video game based on the film was released in November 2004 for the Game Boy Advance, developed by Humansoft, weird name, and published by Crave Entertainment. The game follows the same plot as the movie. Within the game, the player has to collect candies throughout each level while avoiding various objects and polar bears. The game received mixed to positive reviews by critics. It's just a...
Yeah, polar bears in New York. Rawr.
Rawr, polar bears. On December 18, 2013, Mental Floss reported that Favreau was interested in making a sequel to the film entitled Elf 2, Buddy Saves Christmas. Later in December 2013, Farrell stated that he did not want to do this.
I don't blame him. I'm happy that I didn't go through with it.
Yeah, there's actually an interview Farrell said that he was like, it'd be really sad if a grown man tried to squeeze himself back into those tights. And I was like, don't be a dick. You'd look great in those. In January 2016, Favreau stated that a sequel could still be happening. Next month, Farrell reiterated the sequel was unlikely and stated that he was generally reluctant to do sequels unless there was a story that justifies it. And on September 18th, 2020, James Caan reaffirmed that the sequel was unlikely, stating that Farrell and Favreau didn't get along after the filming of the first one, which is crazy.
Okay, so I want to touch upon one more thing for notes, since allegedly, James Caan is a very hard person to work with.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've heard and what the doc stated. Then so with the scene where he yells at Buddy after Peter Dinklage kicks his ass.
Mm-hmm.
How since Favreau was like, Caan was like, how do you want me to go about this for this one? He goes, Favreau just whispers in his ear, "You're Sonny fucking Corleone."
That's funny.
And that was it. And then James Caan knew what he had to do to yell at Buddy.
That's awesome.
That's cool. And that's you kind of see it in that moment, and I like that. But I highly just recommend the doc. It's fun. It's very interesting to watch. You get to learn a lot more about the stuff that they went through.
Yeah, I plan on watching it now that I watched Elf.
And also, I'll also like the true essence on why this film was created was because the writer lost his father, I think around Christmas, and he essentially just wanted a Christmas movie about a boy finding his father.
That's sweet. Did you see the Die Hard movie that made us yet?
I have not yet. I kind of wish they did just throw that into the holiday movies.
No, because it's not. I mean, they also put Home Alone in there as well, and Home Alone's a holiday movie. But they made that way before they planned on doing a holiday one, at least to my knowledge. So definitely check out the Die Hard one. It's awesome.
I was surprised they only did 2.
I think it's because they're gearing up for a season 2 of the movies that made us, so they didn't want to blow their load and do another 4. It takes a while to film documentaries.
For the holiday movies, you could have thrown
Christmas
Story in, and Christmas Vacation.
That would
also speaking of, I watched that the biopic.
Oh, you watched A Stupid and Futile Gesture?
Yes.
Yeah, how'd you like it?
A lot of cocaine.
Dude, that was old Hollywood, man. Cocaine's everywhere. Look at Die Hard. That guy's just doing cocaine. All right, let's move on to the plot of Elf. So, on Christmas Eve, a little baby boy at an orphanage crawls into Santa's sack and unwittingly taken back to the North Pole. When the child is discovered at the workshop, the elves name him Buddy based off the brand of diapers he's wearing, and Papa Elf adopts and raises him. Buddy grows up at the North Pole believing he's an elf and accepted by the elf community. Due to his human size, though, he is unable to keep up with the other elves and demoted to the more demeaning jobs of toy testing, which I would be fine with. I'd be like, hey, let me play with him. I don't want to make these things. Fuck you. Soon, Buddy overhears that he's a human, and Papa Elf explains that Buddy was born to Walter Hobbs and Susan Wells and was given up for adoption. Susan subsequently died, probably of cancer, and Walter, who now works as a children's book publisher at the Empire State Building, New York City, is unaware of Buddy's existence. To Buddy's horror, Santa reveals that Walter is on the naughty list due to his selfish and unscrupulous demeanor, but suggests Buddy could help redeem him. Buddy promptly then travels to New York and finds his father at work, but even after he mentions Susan Wells, Walter misinterprets him as a dysfunctional Christmas grand messenger and kicked him out of the premises. Inspired by a sarcastic remark from a security guard, Buddy heads to the local Gimbel's department store, where the manager, who's played by Faison Love, mistakes him for an employee. At the store's North Pole, he meets Jovi, an unenthusiastic employee who's hot, with whom he instantly is smitten with. After hearing that Santa will be at the store the following day, Buddy jubilantly decorates his North Pole overnight. When Buddy realizes the Gimbel Santa is not the real Santa, he unmasks him and causes a wild tumult, that's a weird word, in the store and lands Buddy in jail.
So
Jesus
funny.
Christ.
So,
Two paragraphs.
so funny side note as well. So, the manager of
It was
Gimbel's.
supposed to be Wanda Sykes, I know.
Yes, and if you look closely at his name tag, it still says Wanda.
Mm-hmm. He said he wanted to keep it because he thought it was funny.
Yep. Oh, that's awesome.
I love Faison.
Walter reluctantly then bails Buddy out of jail and takes him to a doctor for a DNA test.
Jon Favreau!
Which confirms that Buddy is in fact his long-lost son. The doctor convinces Walter to take Buddy home, meet his stepmother Emily and 12-year-old half-brother Michael,
Hell yeah.
believing that once he is faced with reality, he'll drop the whole elf thing
False.
and move on as a regular adult. Walter and Michael are put off by Buddy's strange behavior, but Emily insists that they care for him until he recovers. Michael eventually warms up to Buddy after Buddy defends him from a gang of bullies in a snowball fight, and Michael encourages Buddy to ask Jovi on a date, which she accepts. During the date, the two fall in love.
Which is a weird, quick way to do that because then they have a kid
Yeah.
at the end, and you're like, okay.
Meanwhile, Walter's company is in trouble after their most recent book fails to
The
sell,
pigeon and the dog.
Well, which has 2 missing pages.
Yep.
But Walter's boss, Fulton, thank you. That's
a
I'm
real
used to
name.
seeing that.
Fulton's a
I
real
know,
name.
but I'm used to seeing that as a last name.
Yeah. Like James Fulton.
Fulton Greenway lays down a hard deadline for Walter to have a new book ready by Christmas Eve. In desperation, Walter and his team secure a meeting with the best-selling children's author, Miles Finch.
Peter Dinklage.
Buddy interrupts the meeting to boast about his newfound love and mistakes Finch, who has dwarfism, as it for an elf. Fuck.
Not timeless.
Buddy unintentionally insults Finch and pesters him into losing his temper. And angered and insulted Finch attacks Buddy and walks out on Walter, who furiously snaps in anger at Buddy for ruining the meeting and harshly disowns him.
Sonny Corleone.
Heartbroken, Buddy leaves an apology note for Walter, Emily, and Michael on an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah, man.
And wanders about the streets, lamenting that he does not fit in anywhere.
Low-key gonna jump off that bridge, though.
I could say lamenting. My brain fucking worked for there.
You could say weird. Every once in a while, you pull out like a fucking triple-digit word, and I'm like, you can't pronounce Bill, but you can pronounce that?
Listen.
Hey, man, it is what it is. It's funny, though.
I'm gonna read this last paragraph, then it's all you,
Sounds
buddy. On Christmas Eve, after finding Finch's notebook full of ideas, Walter and his team scramble to create a book to pitch. As Walter prepares to pitch the book for Greenway that evening, Michael, who found Buddy's note, arrives and informs Walter that Buddy is gone, realizing he was wrong, and forces to choose between his job or his family. Walter quits his job and leaves with Michael to find Buddy. Imagine if Michael brought the Etch-a-Sketch there, but he was running and shook it all. Dad.
Look, Dad, Buddy left a note. It's just a fucking blank Etch-a-Sketch. That would be gold. So, as Buddy wanders the streets, he watches Santa's sleigh crash in Central Park, attracting a huge crowd. Buddy tracks down Santa, who explains that his sleigh has lost its engine and cannot fly without it because of its lack of Christmas spirit. Buddy finds the engine and reunites with Walter and Michael. Walter apologizes to Buddy and accepts him as his son. Buddy then takes them to meet Santa, who proves himself by Michael showing him what he truly wants for Christmas, which is a skateboard. Michael takes Santa's list and reads it in front of television news cameras gathered outside to proving Santa is real. The Central Park Rangers, who have grudged against Santa for placing them on the naughty list, chase that sleigh as Buddy tries to reattach it to the engine. Jovi leads a crowd. They just sing. They sing Santa Claus is coming to town to help raise the spirits. And then it flies for the first time in years at full power.
So
Go on.
Can we put this in the fact that the Central Park Rangers are the only ones who still believe in Santa?
Which I think is fucking funny. They're like, I put them on the naughty list, so they have a grudge against me, so they're all just trying to chase him down. That's such a stupid, funny note to just put in there randomly.
Yeah.
So, by the next Christmas, Walter starts his own publishing company with a book about Buddy's story that becomes a bestseller. Buddy and Jovi, now married, bring their newborn daughter Susie to visit Papa Elf so she can believe in the magic of Christmas. Weird jump, but whatever. I guess they fell in love after one date, and then they bang, and then 9 months later, baby.
It probably was like a nice year after.
Well, it says by
everything.
Next Christmas.
Yeah.
So it takes them about a year. But it means she got pregnant 3 months after they met. To have that kid within a year.
I think like my first memory of this film was probably seeing it.
She had sex with Buddy the Elf. Who does that?
So, but also like okay, also so the book publishing where Buddy is reading it to kids, they have fucking terrifying looking stuffed Buddy the Elves.
Oh, I didn't see those.
I will actually, for once, I will actually follow my word. I will put one of them on the screen now.
Yo, Zach, buy me one.
No.
They gotta exist.
No, I love this movie. I cannot wait to hear your fucking notes.
My notes are fucking great, dude. I need you to tell me which ones are fucking crazy.
and then I can bash your fucking kneecaps in.
Oh, I know.
Note.
I know which one you mean. But hey, man, I'm not wrong.
Fucking read your notes. I can kill you later.
So my mid-movie notes. First up is gotta love that troll CGI. They're explaining like what why elves are making Christmas presents. They said elves are the best. Gnomes drank too much and trolls weren't potty trained. But like the troll CGI is just so bad. After that, they have a really long opening credits that did not need to happen. So my note is, remember when movies had long opening credits? Ugh, I like it when they just open, and then you get like the title card, and then it's just like, okay, here's the movie now. Don't waste my time. Next note.
That's why the end credits are so much shorter.
That's true. Next note. This baby actor is making moves. The baby just fucking like kicks out the thing. Like, I mean, it probably took like a million takes to get that baby to like do what they wanted, but like that baby knew what was up. Most babies in movies just fucking lay there like nothing. This baby was kicking and crawling and moving. I was like, damn, okay. Next up is LMAO. The elves are taking shots. After they successfully do Christmas, they're taking eggnog shots. I thought that was funny. Look how big this motherfucker is when Will Ferrell finally grows up. The movie has a lot of green screen and shots with Will Ferrell talking adjacent to the elves. Movie magic. So they can get the perspective properly done. Why does Ming Ming look like Zach?
I don't know. Who is Ming Ming? Oh, wait. That's Peter Billingsley, who played Ralphie.
Yes.
Fucking hate you.
I was like, this guy looks so familiar. It looks like Zach. I didn't know it was the fucking Ralphie. That's the fucking best. Oh, that's so good.
I hate you.
Dude,
So
I didn't know that. That's just...
We mentioned it when we filmed A Christmas Story.
Yeah, but that was like 2 weeks ago.
God.
I don't remember things from 2 weeks ago.
Why does he look like Zach? I don't know.
Probably because it's Zach in disguise. It's Zach if he was a movie actor.
fucking Peter Billingsley, who played Ralphie.
Who looks like Zach.
The one you said who looks like me.
Wow, that's fucking funny. I did not know. Oh, man. Oh, you're killing me. All right, next note.
Continue.
This is when he's making the Etch-a-Sketches. He makes 85, which is a lot. And they're like, that's not enough, shit face.
That's not a lot in elf culture, man.
They're just like you can see the notes, and it's like, some of them made like 10,000, and Buddy's is like 85.
Will Ferrell has these big man hands.
His big meaty claws. Next note, that little shower is hilarious. Leon is the best and needs his own spin-off. He's just basically like Morgan Freeman if he was a snowman.
Yeah.
Aw, little elf dad make big sad.
God fucking Christ.
I want that CGI bear. I still do. I love how Santa has magic and a flying sleigh, yet Buddy has to take an iceberg and then walk to New York. It's fucking great. I didn't know if this is in the notes, but a lot of the New York montage is mostly legit. Some extras were real, though. Will Ferrell almost caused a bunch of accidents doing this as well.
Yeah.
Next note, Amy Sedaris. Hell yeah. She's the secretary.
Yeah.
He gets hit by a taxi. That's fucking gold. He's just walking in the street, all of a sudden the taxi comes out of nowhere and fucking hits him. I was not expecting that. That was hilarious. And then when they're on their date, they're like, and the yellow ones don't stop. I was like, that's fucking good. I understand he's supposed to be a naive dude, but Buddy is probably 31. He shouldn't be this childish, regardless of being raised by elves, because some of them are seen drinking and they talk about having babies. Just comes off a little weird. Next note, phase on love. That's all I gotta say. When he showed up, I was like, hell yeah. Zoe as a blonde is off-putting. Watch too much New Girl. She's still cute, though. Will Ferrell can actually sing, and it's funny that Buddy can't. The kid's impressions of the dad is great. He's like, hey, I got a lot of homework to do, and I'm getting behind on it. It's pretty good.
Sonny Corleone.
Yeah, Zoe can actually sing. Another cool fun fact. They're singing the date rape song.
So a lot of people call it that, but
it's what it is.
Really
That's what it is.
It's not.
It's not drugging a drink date rape, but it's like, hey, it's snowing outside. Come stay in my house. And she's like, no. And he's like, yes, though. Look at your lips. They look delicious. What the fuck? Anyway, if this wasn't a PG or PG-13 movie, we would have seen Jovi's Jingle Bells.
Yeah.
They almost show them. I'm like, this is a kid's movie. I was like, she's naked. This is really weird. Weird that a department store has showers, and then it's later clarified that there's a locker room. Still weird.
Not really.
I mean, to be fair, I've never worked in New York City, so I don't know if that's actually true, but it's just weird that it's like, they got locker rooms with showers.
Well, at my dad's office here, even on Long Island, they have showers at the offices.
That's really weird. Not
really, because I'd say it was like, God forbid that you kind of like you show up like a little bit late and then you could take a shower on your break.
I mean, I guess that's just a bit weird. I mean, it's convenient, don't get me wrong, but it's just a little weird to me personally. Right. Faison is a fucking treasure. You sit on a throne of lies. I've heard that line a million times. There he is, the man himself, Jon fucking Favreau, showing up as the doctor. Yeah. I love how absolute batshit Buddy the Elf is, and he carries syrup around. He's, next up, he's definitely going to make a book about Buddy. Called it. Is Finch Peter Dinklage? Buddy's definitely going to call him an elf. Fucking knew it. I love the dink.
And when I was seeing you type that, I was like, maybe you've seen it and you just forgot.
Nah, I just recognized Peter Dinklage's voice. I was like, is this Peter Dinklage? No way. I didn't know he was in this movie. And then he shows up and I was like, yo! I've seen clips of this movie. I know I've seen some bits. And they have some really good, decent stunts in this. Like, they have with the dancing, with the throwing, with the kid getting hit by the car. They got some good stunts. Yeah. I made this note when he flips over the sled and lands in the sack. I was like, that's pretty good. So, yeah, those are my notes. You have 2.
I just have 2. Zooey Deschanel is probably my first celebrity crush. I think I remember falling head over heels for her when I was a kid.
Yeah, she's good looking. Like I said,
and then I can't believe this film came out in 2003. It seemed like
it's timeless.
It seemed like it came out later than I remembered.
No, I got you. Yeah, I thought this movie was like a 2008 film because everybody knows Will Ferrell after he got really big, but this is actually the movie that made him really big.
And also Old School. Can't forget Old School.
Yeah, I know. And I think Step Brothers came out around the same time, too.
You're my boy, Blue!
Blue, you're my boy!
We gotta watch Old School, man. I realize that now.
Dude, that's my boss's ringtone at work. Whenever he gets a text, it's, Blue, you're my boy! He loves Will Ferrell. But he was also a product of the Will Ferrell times, you know?
Yeah.
So, let's move on to our review section. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Reviews.
Yeah.
So on Rotten Tomatoes, this film holds an approval rating of about 84% based on 194 reviews and an average rating of 7 out of 10. The website's critical consensus reads, a movie full of Yuletide cheer, Elf is a spirited, good-natured, family-friendly comedy, and it benefits greatly from Will Ferrell's funny and charming performance as one of Santa's biggest helpers. Emphasis on biggest. On Metacritic, it holds about a 64 out of 100 based on 39 critics, indicating generally favorable. Audience polled by CinemaScore gave this an A- on an A+ to F scale, which is really high.
Yeah.
I love how each site gives it a different rating. Metacritic's like, it's a 6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes like it's an 8. And then CinemaScore's like, it's a 9. It's like, okay, make up your mind. So, Zach, since you gave it a higher rating than me, read us the good review.
Ferrell is a hoot. Oh, wait, sorry, it's good from David Asner of Newsweek. Ferrell is a hoot. So is much of this witty holiday family entertainment, which up until the end, when the true spirit of Christmas must be
reaffirmed.
What's that? Reaffirmed. Thank you. Happily favors slapstick over.
Don't know that one. Treacle.
Yep. Yeah, let's go with that.
Treacle.
Treacle. All right, give us that bad review since you gave it about like a.
I gave it a little bit less than you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't give it a bad review. I just gave it a less one than you. So, Bad by Scott Tobias of the AV Club. The cast wrings laughs out of David Birnbaum's script as if it were a damp washcloth, but even then having selling frenetic button pushing as Christmas spirit.
It was this man's first fucking film.
I don't know, man. This
Cut
guy,
him a break.
Scott Tobias seems like he had a grudge against Elf. That's all I'm saying.
God.
It's a little bit
All
weird.
Right. Okay, since our actually funny enough, our reviews are in order of which that they're said.
I don't even remember him saying the one you said, so you have to remind me of that scene when we get to your review. So my review is 7 Thrones of Lies out of 10.
Mine was after when he says, "Would you like to end up dead?" After he says you sit on a throne of lies. He goes like, "You smell like beef and cheese. You don't smell like Santa."
I don't remember that at all, but that's hilarious.
But I gave it 8.5. You smell like beef and cheese out of 10.
I can't believe our reviews are in the same scene. That's good.
Listen, hey, I was set on that one. I was set on a certain scene, but I thought that one is the best one because I actually was originally going to do Throne of Lies. But I'm like, nah, the beef and cheese is amazing.
Beef and cheese.
All right, so that does it for the December 24th episode of Box Office Losers.
Yeah, we have one more Christmassy thing. We decided to do it like we did it with Halloween. We decided to do an extra Christmas episode because Christmas Eve and because Christmas is on a Friday, which we'll be releasing our normally scheduled episode, which will be Die Hard. Fuck yeah. But we're going to release one on the 24th, which is today, which is when you guys are listening. It's cool that we're able to do some of this stuff because we have flexible schedules with what we're working with. So it's cool that we were able to put out 2 Halloween episodes and 2 Christmas episodes. It does give us a little hit in our views because people see 2 and they go, I'll wait. But it's cool that we get a lot of content coming out. So I like it.
Yes, of course. And also, now that I'm done with college up until the fall. So if we want to do bonus stuff, we could do bonus stuff.
Oh yeah, I plan on moving out pretty soon. So once I get my own place, me and you can come. You can come over. We can just drink and watch movies, and then record the podcast. It'll be fucking awesome.
Actually have a camera studio set up for this one. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. It'll be great. We'll have real YouTube videos. All right. So,
all right, folks,
Zacky boy, close us out.
Thank you guys for watching. You can follow us on Instagram at Box Office Losers for any up-to-date news for when the podcast gets released. For any random posters.
I've been getting a little bit lazy on the art, but I gotta pump out a little bit more for the Christmassy stuff. I wasn't really able to find that much like stuff for the Christmas movies we just watched, so hopefully I'll find a lot for these.
There's not much to remember. They came out around a time where not many things were like, oh, hey, redone. Yeah. Some shit. Don't follow us on Twitter because that just is a cesspool that we can't seem to figure out. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe on Apple and wherever podcasts are found. Leave a review and share with your friends. Apparently, I'm Ming the fucking elf.
Yeah, dude. That's where you can find that's where we can find you on Twitter. Ming the fucking elf.
But no,
it's fucking Ralphie. How great is that?
But so guys, you guys want to follow me outside of this? You can follow me at Dark Shadow Zake, literally everywhere. I am a contributor for the Sports Hit List. So, Hunter, where can they find you?
You can find me at Scruffy Mooseman on most social medias. You can also find me every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. on Pound That Button, a PlayStation podcast, and every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. on Android's Amazing Podcast, which is a comic book podcast. And starting in 2021, because I fucking hate myself, I'm launching another podcast, and it's about Star Wars. More to come on that later.
Why?
I have so much, because I have free time and I like podcasts. I like podcasts. I like talking to people about stuff.
Okay.
Sue me.
Well, guys, we thank you all for watching. If you're listening to this on Christmas Day, Merry Christmas. And, yeah.
And happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays. Peace.
Zippy, you sit on a throne of lies.
Look, I'm not kidding.
You're a fake.
I'm a fake?
Yes.
How'd you like to be dead?